Here we are.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installation of GameRT's Twitch program, Low Stress High Mayhem, where we choose TTRPG, gather some librarians together, play, talk about how the game can be used in our library and spaces. I'm Danielle Costello. Normally, I'm a research and instruction librarian for Louisiana State University and current GameRT event programming co-chair. However, today I'm a COBOL. All hail King Torg.
All hail King Torg.
All hail King Torg.
Excellent. You're about to see some of the mayhem that's going to occur. But first, leading the session of mayhem is our game master and mayor of the day, Molly Porter. Molly, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah, I'm Molly Porter. I am an adult services librarian at the West Feliciana Parish Library in Louisiana. I am going to be the mayor for today's game and be prepared for a lot of mayhem.
Excellent. And also joining us are a couple more kobolds for the adventure and shenanigans. So, friends, please introduce yourself. Amber, you can start.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amber Sewell. I'm a teaching and learning librarian at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm also a member at large for GameRT and on the programming committee.
And Rebecca?
Hello, I am Rebecca Strang. I am a children's librarian at Naperville Public Library in Illinois, and I am the president of GameRT, and I'm a member of the programming committee, and I am the chair of the grants, the Game on Grant committee.
Work forever,
Ugh.
Rebecca. Work forever. And last but not least, our Twitch czar and goblin.
Hi there, resident Kobold Goblin here, Russell Brandon, the data services librarian at Fenton Memorial Library and the director of the Cawson Center for Teaching and Learning at Mississippi University for Women in Columbus, as well as the Twitch guy, the Twitch czar, and a member of the programming committee. Also Kobold. We already said that.
There you go. Thank you all. Now, this event is being held live. However, if you need to leave or would like to watch it again, the Twitch video on demand will be accessible right after we end. If you aren't following us on GameRT Twitch already, please give us a follow so we can build the channel. Links for all the places where you'll be able to find us, like our blog, Facebook, Discord, will be posted below. So please check those out as well. And for anyone not previously familiar with GamesRT, we are the Games and Gaming Roundtable of the American Library Association. Our mission is to promote gaming in libraries, whether that's programming, collection development, community building, prototyping, playtesting, or research. We are here for all of your needs. So, before we get started in today's session, I know I've said that a couple of times. I want to let you know about one very exciting thing coming up, and that's our mini conference at March 31st. This year's theme is tabletop role playing games. TTRPGs continue to grow in popularity. Now more than ever, communities are looking for ways to connect, spaces to play, and new systems to learn. We're bringing together a variety of presentations that showcase and focus on that connection from across the library world, as well as scholarly and professional connections as well. So mark the date and join us for this new adventure. That I'll explain. We'll be playing today Kobolds Ate My Baby by Ninth Level Games. Molly will introduce us to the rules. We'll play and do our very best not to die. I think we're going to die a lot, but we're going to do our very best. We'll take some questions at the end. So that said, take it away, Molly.
Okay, so Kobolds Ate My Baby is a game of kobolds, mayhem, and death. But it will be very fun death. So, we are going to be playing through an adventure today called A Totally Expected Parody, which is a Hobbit parody. And we can walk through the rules really briefly, but most of it we can pick up as we're going along. Basically, instead of rolling like you would in Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or something like that, where you're trying to roll for an ability and get above a certain dice roll, you're getting below a dice roll. That's the most important thing to remember. So you have 4 stats. Those are well, they are brawn, ego, extraneous, and reflexes, which does spell out beer. So if you're playing this with younger ones, maybe mix it up. But they are the stats that govern everything that you do, and the handy numbers under them are determined by those stats too. And those are the difficulty dice that you were rolling against. So we can get started, but if any of you have questions along the way, feel free to interrupt. If you interrupt a cajillion times, I might give you a death check. That's another thing. There's death checks. I forgot to say. Okay, everybody on Twitch, they have horrible death checks because a kobold has a horrible death record. And if they get up to 13 death checks, they're dead. Okay. Expect these characters to maybe die a lot. But yeah, it's okay to get attached because they're going to come back as like their sons or something. So, an unexpected soiree. You're in a kobold cave. Just as a reference, every kobold cave in existence, forever, of all time, in the dead center will have King Torg.
All hail King Torg.
All hail
All
King
hail King
Torg.
Torg.
It's starting, y'all. Okay. Yeah.
I had to get my mute button.
Unmute,
Right.
unmute.
It's okay to stay unmuted because I have a feeling that it's gonna come up. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I just saw King
wonderful.
Torg pop up. That's
We
amazing.
almost died. We almost died so early.
Yeah. So far, no death checks, but just wait. So there's not a proper door to your cave. There is a throne room, which has a chicken bone throne for King Torg.
All hail
All
King
hail
Torg.
King
All hail
Torg.
King Torg.
All hail King Torg.
Okay. Notice I'm giving a pause right now. I won't always give a pause. Okay. You've got a den, which isn't really what we would think of as a den. The person who built the cave thought that when they said den, they meant a wolf's den. So it's not super homey. It's very wolfy, I guess we could say. That's my best adjective for that. But one day, all the kobolds hanging out, doing their silly kobold things, and there is a commotion at the front of the cave. And a tall, balding wizard with a large hooked nose, a ridiculous fluffy mustache, and a pointed beard and crooked smile enters the throne room. My good King Torg, chirped the
All
All
hail
hail
King
King
Torg.
Torg.
King Torg.
How great it is to see you! Tabriz, returned the king. Tabriz Black, italicized the wizard, who was indeed wearing black robes. Don't you always wear black robes? Questioned the king. First off, sometimes they have red highlights, and second, it's important for a setup later. Ahem. Hail Tabriz Black, corrected the king, shaking his head. And it actually says, today was gonna suck. So the wizard launched into a 3-page exposition of what had brought him to the caves, during which Torg,
All hail King Torg.
All hail King
All hail
Torg.
King
All hail King Torg.
I should say, it's only when I say King Torg. So
All
I
hail
can
King
say the
Torg.
king and I can say Torg and you don't have to do it. But if I say
Okay.
King Torg, you have to do
All
it.
hail
All hail
King
King
Torg.
Torg.
All hail King Torg.
It's gonna be
He nodded
Pavlovian.
off a few times, that Torg did. But he got the gist that Tabriz thought it would be a great idea to go piss off a dragon, which had been ravaging the countryside for generations, as you do. His brilliant plan was to lead a small group into the dragon's lair in the old abandoned city under the very lonely mountain and make off with the treasure. And he thought that, kobolds, they're not smart enough to be afraid of things, even. And so they would be a perfect party. But King Torg said,
All hail King
All hail
Torg.
King
All hail
Torg.
King Torg.
I'm not sure about this, because we also die super easy. And I wouldn't be a good king if I just said, yeah, kill them all. Even though, I reserve the right to kill them all. So, Tabriz would not be dissuaded by any arguments involving kobold preservation or gastronomic difficulty. So the king jostled his tiny brain looking for any excuse to extricate them from this amazingly stupid and boring trip. And he realized that because they're so small, kobolds don't get to carry a lot of things. You can only have 2 things at any point in time. Think of how long it would take to bring all that treasure back, right? So he said, but you know who can carry a lot of things? Orcs, spelled here with a Q for copyright reasons. And so why don't you go get the orcs from next door and they can do it for you? And Tabriz said, that's probably for the best. So he goes and gets the orcs. And he is seeming, pretty okay with this plan. He leaves. But then, some days later, Tabriz Black and the 7 orcs, which is the setup that it had to be black for, who agreed to follow the kooky old wizard on this fool's crusade, had a great idea and then decided that they were super hungry, basically. So they showed up at the cave and they weren't going to leave until they have been fed. So, kobolds, it is your duty to feed Tabriz Black and the 7 orcs. So, there are 2 special house rules for this adventure. The first is the now we're cooking rule. So the difficulty of a cook roll in the kobold kitchens is equal to the number of unique ingredients combined. So if you are cooking something and it's got chicken plus bread plus cheese, that's 3 dice of difficulty. If you're just adding 2 ingredients, 2 dice of difficulty. As true gourmands, a kobold would never think to pad a recipe by using fillers, and each item in a recipe needs to be unique. So I don't really care if the items are unique, but just know that that's how we're calculating difficulty. The you don't know Jack R.R. Tolkien rule is if you attempt to use your vast knowledge of all things Tolkien-esque, which a kobold could never ever know, you get a death check. So specifically if you're arguing for something, I think is how this is going. I don't care if you want to quote Tolkien, that's fine. I'm a dork, do it. So, okay. So then let's see. It will take 3 dice worth of cooking to fill each orc. They can be divided between multiple dishes of like 1 or 2 dice, or you can have a 3 dice difficulty dish to feed that 1 orc. But there are 7 orcs, so that's 21 cooking dice to feed the orc. Okay, Tabriz takes 5. So just things to keep in mind. Food cannot be vegan if it's going to feed the orcs or Tabriz, which they're saying vegan, they mean it has to have some kind of meat in it, right? So orcs are prone to food allergies. That's one thing to keep in mind. And we can talk about those allergies as they occur. But it'll be okay, I promise. So you have been delegated. Burly guards, well, kobolds burly, grab you by your delegation and push you all quite forcibly through the secret door into the kitchen. As the portal seals behind you, King Torg offers you these inspiring words. If you can get rid of that goofy spell clucker, Tabriz, Black, and the 7 orcs, there's a baby in it for you. When I mean if you fail, be careful what you say. Remember this. Tabriz can only kill you once. But if you were to mention this secret room back here, things will go much, much worse as you are slowly devoured over 1,000 years. And you can see his teeth kind of glint at you. Okay, so this is going to be the setup for the cave, and I'm going to send you a document for it in a minute. But this is the kitchen. That's the secret room he's talking about. Okay, so he says this, and then flashes you his toothy grin, and the door slams shut. And now you are all in the kitchen staring at a blank wall.
And I really love this wall.
I don't know. It seems like it's brutal minimalism, and I'm really not into that.
Not your motif.
No, I like cottage core, really.
Cottage core.
Cottages too tend to have much more delicious babies in them.
They do. And more babies.
I'm just like standing in the background. I have a sack of spices and I'm just like looking in it, making sure I have all of my spices.
Ready to cook.
Just sniffing. Sniffing it. Can I smell like any food?
Kobolds have wonderful smell. I mean, right now, though, you're staring at a blank wall. So what are you gonna do? Well,
I'm done with this wall. I guess I mean, is it a completely blank room?
It's well, there's a trick to it, but it's a very stupid trick.
Oh, fun.
So.
Helga turns around.
Perfect. Okay. This is the holiest of holies in the caves, the kitchen. From a very young age, all kobold pups are brought here to share in its magnificence. The slow, the stupid, and those unable to wriggle like a demon never leave. But those who survive come to love the hallowed sight and the delicious things it produces. Counters line the room with every modern cooking appliance imaginable. So the rest of the cave is like a dank, dark cave. This kitchen is top of the line. Like HGTV came in and like pimped this kitchen, right? So when it comes to cooking, kobolds have a very vivid imagination. There is a large table in the center covered with some hastily abandoned leftover food items. So you would be able to smell those. Across the room is a well-tended cook fire and oven. And there are a number of cabinets where foodstuffs are stored, and the closed, shiny steel door to the cold larder where the freshest meat is stored. So you're in the kitchen. What are you going to do? You'll have to cook a lot of food. Or risk becoming the food, I should say.
Newman holds up his can opener, and I want to look for cans.
Okay, so roll one, roll one difficulty dice. That's 1d6.
Okay. I got a 1.
Okay, perfect. So you can go over to the cabinet nearest to you, and there are some cans in there. We've got some cans that have been stolen from previous missions, right? So you've got some like canned corn and canned beans and things like that. There is one special can in the back, but you're gonna have to search for it.
Oh, it's definitely just digging through. I think when Newman sees, he's just like, this is labeled. This is labeled. That's not art. That's not art.
That's not art. Okay. Okay. So then roll. Let me see. How am I gonna do this one? Y'all, I haven't run this game before, so this is
I'm
an
hungry.
adventure
No, that's
together.
buggy.
Okay. We are going to let me pull up Newman's sheet here. Yeah, okay. Roll 2d6 and you're gonna be rolling against your ego.
Okay. First is a 2. Second is a 1.
All right, perfect. So Newman manages to scramble through everything and he finds a can of Spam. Okay. So you already have meat for one recipe.
An appetizer. And is it okay? So just making Spam is one of our recipes.
It could be. Yeah.
Could be. Put it on the menu. Spam's back on the menu, boys.
Oh no.
Helga wants to look around and see if there is anything to make a trap with, because I may get the munchies while I'm cooking food for all of these other people.
That's very true. Yeah. Okay.
So if I can catch a stray chicken or a kobold who's dumb enough to get in my trap.
Okay. So if you want to go ahead and roll, call it 2d6 for me.
I don't know if it matters that I have the trap skill.
That will help you for making a trap, but first you've got to find things to make a trap.
I got 10.
10. Okay. And what is your what is your ego?
8.
8. Okay. Unfortunately, you haven't found all of the elements that you need for a trap. But you did find a really cool stick.
Okay.
So
can I sharpen the stick and just set it in a corner?
Are you going to be sharpening it with your sport tip spear, or are you sharpening it with something else?
I'm just gonna like roll the tip on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit.
Perfect.
To kind of wear it down to a point.
Yeah. So you are sharpening your stick. Very, very good.
Newman is definitely like feeling that he's done, and he's just like watching Just
Oh yeah, he's done the important work. He's found that spam.
So
Yeah.
Brad, being an e-pro gamer kobold, would like to see if there's any items for cake. Like he's seen a chocolate cake in his Minecraft. Not Minecraft. What is it? Where's the cake?
There's
Portal.
cake in Minecraft,
Portal.
not chocolate.
Okay,
Portal.
yes.
There
But
is
there's
cake.
in Portal.
There's
There's cake in
actually-
everything.
There's cake in everything. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
The
I've
cake
never
is a
had
lie in
cake,
Portal,
but
so
I'm
is
gonna
there
make
really
this
cake in
cake.
Portal? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cake is not a lie. The cake will not be a lie anymore.
Okay. So let's see. Trying to find a walkthrough for each room. Okay. So if you raid the cupboard,
Mhm.
roll 1d6 for me.
Mhm.
And
a
that's
3?
gonna also be against ego.
Okay. So
Did my internet go out?
No.
No? Okay.
But Danielle's
Hello?
me.
Hello,
Hello?
hi.
Oh,
What did-
are we back? All hail King
There you
Torg.
are.
3.
All hail King Torg.
Okay.
Oh,
Look, I
Lord.
went in, Brad went into a different plane of existence for a second. It was
Got it. Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was way too much to look into those cupboards, apparently. What did you roll for ego?
I got 3.
Okay, perfect. So you have found some butter, and they don't really care about refrigeration in this part of, like, let's say that this is a cave in France. They don't refrigerate their butter. So okay. And oh, hey, no, this is dorky. I was gonna be like, maybe this is where blue cheese was born. It was this cave in France. Okay. They're gourmands, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm such a dork. Here we go. You found some butter, you found some flour. So you could conceivably make a cake.
This is how cake is made.
Just keep in mind that if it doesn't have meat in it, the orcs are not going to eat it. So it's going to be a very confusing cake, but I feel like they could get with it.
We have the start of a good cake. Yes. Yes. Yes, I can see my plan coming together now.
Spam with butter. It's challenging. It confronts a lot of misconceptions about.
The thing with art is that it needs to challenge your preconceived notions of what is and to be what is not, to push the boundaries of food.
What if we just throw the flour at the orcs when we deliver the spam?
It'll be an experience.
I can see it. I can see it.
Would like to look at the counters to see if there is any, like, what kind of food might be in the counters or the cupboards.
Okay. So roll 1d6 again against ego.
I got a 4. My ego is 9.
Okay, perfect. So on the counter there are some kind of scattered chicken bones, and there are a few of the chicken bones that still have some chicken meat on them. So there is chicken there. There is a piece of pizza that your most raccoony kobold friend pulled out of a dumpster down the road. So there is some pizza there.
What's on the pizza?
I'm about to get controversial, y'all. It's pineapple. That's why it was thrown away. Okay. So
Truly,
anyway,
a good choice.
I just hiss at it.
yeah. It's pineapple. But could be a good little flavor addition if you need a little bit of acid in there. So never know.
Has Newman opened the spam?
I think he's been holding it the whole time.
Cradling it.
Helga is going to be like, Newman, it would go excellent with that spam. Potatoes.
Potatoes. Potatoes.
What's taters?
What's taters, precious? What's taters?
What's
They're
taters,
these
Helga?
magical things that grow in the ground. And you dig them up, and then you can boil them. You can mash them. You can stick them in a stew with those chicken bones that are on the counter. They're the most magical of things that grow in the ground. I used to have a secret hoard myself, but you must pair with meat to be good.
Right. Yes.
Of course. Where are these potatoes?
Helga looks for potatoes.
Okay. There are not potatoes in the kitchen.
Helga
The
cries.
kitchen is not the only thing in the cave, but right now the door is locked.
Hmm.
Helga's just a little overwhelmed. But they're not
By the
potatoes.
lack of potatoes. That's fair. I think we all are.
Is going to turn to Chad. Brad. Let's take the chicken and make a chicken cake, and we can use the bones as
Jake!
decoration.
How brave. So brave.
They will know only our brilliance. Yeah, yes,
Just a bunch of
chicken cake.
kobolds standing around each other clapping. Oh, yes.
Golf clap. Yeah.
Okay, so get the
Okay.
flour.
So then what ingredients are you using for your chicken cake?
Flour,
Butter.
Chicken bones.
Oh, it sounds
chicken.
horrifying, but that's okay.
I have spices in my spice sack that make anything taste delicious. So if we want to take the chance in adding an additional ingredient, we can add spices. It's a spice chicken cake.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna drop my
spice chicken
sling
cake.
and look for a knife. I have an idea. I have a brilliant idea.
Oh no. Okay.
Can I find a knife in this kitchen?
Is the idea for the chicken cake?
Yes, it's for the chicken cake.
Okay, so we're gonna hold off on rolling for the chicken cake cooking. But what is your idea? You're looking for a knife?
Yes, and then I would take my little cobalt arm and I'll go like furiously, cartoon style, to mince the chicken and the bones, because
Okay.
that would also be delicious.
Not all the bones. We want some of the bones sticking out of the cake as decoration.
Make them sharp.
Decor.
We want the experience to be tangible for our
Were there
guests.
any like feathers with this chicken carcass?
There aren't feathers on the counter, but there are feathers over in the corner where someone
Yes.
must have done the prep work.
We're gonna add feathers
Okay,
too.
so all right.
Because
Not
a
as an
mash.
ingredient, but as a decoration after it's made.
So the way that taking actions works in Kobolds Ate My Baby, not Made My Baby, that would be a very different game, is that if you want to do multiple actions per turn, you can do as many as you want, but the more actions you take, you have to add penalty dice to your difficulty roll. So if you're taking, and it's every roll, not just the second, third, and so on. So if you're taking 2 actions, there's the normal difficulty setting for each action, and then there's 1 extra die added to both of them.
Okay.
So I am going to say the first one with the penalty dice is 2d6 to search for a knife, and that's going to be an ego roll.
Easy peasy, that's 4.
Okay. And then the second roll is going to be reflexes, and
Am I good at that?
let me see.
I'm okay at that. Yeah, that's fine.
Huh.
That's good. I'm okay at that one.
You're sure?
Yes, I want chopped chicken,
Okay.
my
Let's see.
masterpiece.
Chopping
It'll be
chicken.
soft, but
Okay.
pointy.
So this is going to be 3d6.
Soft, pointy.
Bless you.
Soft, but pointy. The textural difference will be amazing. They will crown us the Kobold. They're chefs. Bronze chefs? I don't know which chef we are.
It's like the Iron Chefs, but of kobolds. So
Iron chef,
the orange
kobolds.
chefs.
The
It's
aluminum
10.
chef.
It was
Yes, the
very
aluminum
close.
chefs.
It was very close. I almost went into disaster, but my G just pulled me back.
So you got it?
Yes, I got 10.
Okay. So you've diced up your chicken and you're ready to add it to the cake. And Rebecca,
Chicken
have you
cake,
retrieved
chicken
feathers?
cake.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What is the name here?
Oh, my name?
Yes.
That's my name.
Oh, yes, hissing sounds. Okay. So, yes. So Brad takes his dice, or their diced chicken, I should say, to the cake prep, and then grab some feathers.
This is the most brilliant idea you've ever had.
Yeah.
Inspired.
Okay, so then let's see. I told you the difficulty roll for the cooking is going to be based on the number of ingredients, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the ingredients here being the chicken, the
The
flour,
chicken,
the
the
butter.
flour, and the butter.
And
Yes.
the feathers.
Well, the
And
feathers are
feathers.
just going to be
More of a
decoration once
decoration.
it's
I'm
made.
not going to count that one against you. That's just inspiration. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
goodness.
then that's going to be 3d6 against. I can never remember which skill is under which thing, but I'm going to find.
Cook is under extraneous.
Oh yes, of course. So under extraneous. So
Do I get a
who is
bonus for
actually,
having the cook ability?
hmm.
Or because I took that ability, I can cook?
It's more that if you took the ability, you can cook.
Am I the only one who took cook?
I think Russell also took cook, or
Okay.
I did
yeah.
not.
And either way, he has a can opener which would enable him to cook. So you're extraneous.
Okay. 3 dice, you said?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8. My extraneous is 8.
Okay, perfect. So you have managed to cook a very troubling chicken cake. Okay. So that's one chicken cake, and that is a 3 dice item. So
Did one over down.
let's see. Remember I said you need 21 dice worth of food for the orcs. You also need 5 for Tabriz, so that's going to be 26. I know how to math. Okay. So you are 3 down. So now you only need 23 dice of food. Okay. So you got your chicken cake prepared. What else are you going to make?
Newman has been obsessively pacing, just kind of thinking about these potatoes, trying to kind of wrap his mind around those.
Mhm.
And you said the door was locked, right?
Yes.
So I have Tinker for cunning. Could
Ah,
I basically I want to see if I can unlock the door
Okay.
or figure out a way to get it.
All right. So let me very
Oh,
quickly-
we're flammable.
Yes, you are. So let's see. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
It's tartare.
We can do that after
Chicken
the
tartare
spam.
cake.
Or
I'm flammable.
Okay. So
And so is Brad. But we can do it after the spam. I
I'm
just
just
remembered
hungry.
that.
yes.
We can also
So
have
anything you come in contact with that could spark a fire, you ignite, taking 2 damage per turn until you spend a turn to stop, drop, and roll yourself out. So this is actually a good point to say. So I'm not going to count for it. I'm not going to count it for the cake because we hadn't thought about it until just now. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
not going to affect you. But moving forward, it will. There are 2 of you who are both bouncy and flammable. I think it's both Danielle and Rebecca are both
evil
bouncy.
gummy bears.
So keep that in mind. So one of our 2 people that knows how to cook is also in danger of dying every time you cook. So
I'm just imagining the cake comes out of the oven, is placed on the island. We're all just kind of like, yay! And then
Yes.
his like just bursts. And we're like, oh, this happens every time.
Right. Oh goodness. So okay, what was I gonna say?
Spam.
I have so much
Spam.
brain today.
Spam.
So
door.
so the flammable thing. I am wow, I just whatever it was gonna be in my brain, it's just not my brain anymore, y'all. I had a thought and then the thought died. Much like your kobolds probably will very soon. Oh, I remember. Okay, so hits. You can lose hits very easily, right? And you have very few of them. It is possible to regain hits also through cooking. So if you are eating something alive or eating something that is raw, then you are able to regain hits based on what you're eating. Okay, so that is in that how to play document that I sent all of you. Okay, under the cooking section. So keep that in mind. You are already cooking, so it shouldn't be terrible. And you don't need the cooking skill to eat something raw. So you can regain hits. Okay, so you said you are going to try to pick the lock. That's what I was doing when I got distracted. I'm so sorry.
I take my can opener out.
So
This was made. This can open cans. Can it open doors?
Tinker, keep in mind, is a dangerous skill. So for this one, you're going to have to add a check to your death record. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to deal with the death record in a moment. But if you want to do this, let's see. The difficulty of any Tinker attempt is up to me, and should be significantly high, as you really have no idea what you're doing, is what it says here. But I think I'm going to call that one. Let me see. This is an ego skill. And let me look at Newman's ego. 7. Let's call it 3, because I think that's about as difficult as it can get before you explode.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
6. So that's 9. And there's a 2. So I'm at 11.
Oh,
I get 7
no.
ego.
Okay. Unfortunately, this attempt at lockpicking had not survived. I love that slowly the flames are just popping up. Okay, I love it. So, this attempt at lockpicking has not succeeded, but even though it didn't succeed, you still have to take a check on the death record for trying it. And so how this works is you add one little death check to your record, and now you roll 2d6 and then add the number of death checks, which at this point is 1. And if it's under or equal to 13, you're alive, but if not, you're dead.
Okay. So it's impossible, right? So it's impossible right now for me to die.
I believe so. Yes. So it's
2 and 4, so 7 total.
okay. So you're not dead yet. So, all right. Does anyone else have any ideas for getting out of the store? Or do you want to do something else
I'm all out of
within the
ideas. The
kitchen?
can opener can't open something. Why do we have it?
Helga wants to check her stick first.
What is a closed room but a giant can? I'm sorry. Helga wants to check her stick.
Has it caught anything?
The what?
Has it caught anything yet?
Oh, has your stick caught anything yet?
Yeah.
Was Helga holding the stick before, or did
No,
you
it's just in the corner of the room as a trap.
Okay. Let's see. King Torg hadn't closed.
Oh,
King
King
Torg!
Torg.
I'm keeping you on your toes. Hadn't closed anyone else in the kitchen with you. So it hasn't caught a kobold. But there is a little mouse that's become very intrigued by it. So it hasn't caught the mouse, but you could try to catch the mouse.
Helga is like sport tip spears ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to try it.
Yeah.
So the mouse has 1 agility. So that's going to be a 1 dice roll. And you are going to be rolling against, let's call this brawn.
Okay. I rolled a 5 and I have 6 brawn.
Okay. You have managed to spear the mouse. So you have another protein that you can add to a dish. Okay. What else are we going to do? Are you going to cook it now, or are you going to add things to it?
No, I just feel like mouse on its own is not sophisticated enough for our standards.
It's true. You are feeding a very important wizard.
Yeah.
The VIW, you might say.
But mouse and pineapple.
Oh. Classic combination.
Innovative combo.
I like
That
take the
works.
pizza out of my pocket and give it to you.
Thank you.
Can pick the pineapple off.
Inspired novelty.
So I'm gonna just try to make mouse and pineapple.
Okay. So then that'll be 2 dice. And well, actually, do you have the cookability?
I do not.
Okay, so
I'm making mouse tartare.
oh, well,
Just a mouse on a plate with pineapple on top.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me look something up. No,
It's random.
Mouse on a stick already, right?
yeah.
It's a kebab.
The mouse on a stick. The mouse was interested in the stick. It's a commentary. The mouse on the stick. You know,
like
the commentary.
the
I mean, the mouse
circle
is
of
dead now,
life.
but
It already has
once-
holes in it
Mhm.
from my spear.
Say what? I'm sorry.
I said it already has the holes in it from my
Oh.
spear.
Right. I love that you have all decided this is going to be the most fancy restaurant that has ever existed.
we must keep our standards high. For King Torg, all hail King
You're gonna
Torg.
give
All
them
hail
like
King Torg.
Mhm. You're gonna give them like a flavored foam, and like they have to inhale something.
But it's literally, it's like,
I love the idea of
It just had
throwing
a flash.
flour at them. I could just throw spices at them when they eat. Like,
Oh,
bam!
I
as soon as
mean,
they're eating
yeah,
it.
and then
Newman is now
what
just
if
sitting in the corner, like burbling his spit and just like foam.
Foam up, Newman. Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you can serve them something raw. Is the thing? Let me see.
Otherwise, they'll be fired.
We're
I'm
gonna find
sure.
out from
The-
the orc traits.
The
and
acidity of
bonuses.
the pineapple.
Oh, it's like a what is it?
Newman could
Ceviche.
assist, right?
Oh yeah, I could cook it too.
Yeah,
I
Newman
just
can
failed
go.
at the door.
Okay. Searching the room. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it. So yeah, I'll allow it. Okay. You can serve them raw mouse with a little pineapple garnish if you'd like. If you're going to also skewer it like a very fancy kebab, then you can do that. And I will not require a cook roll for that. But is there anything else that we are gonna do?
No, this dish is strong enough to stand on its own.
Okay. So then that's 2 more cooking dice. So you're down to 21 needed.
We have a chicken cake, mouse kebab.
This is a very interesting feast.
Hmm.
You
How-
might say this feast was the real unexpected journey, but okay.
It's really about the food we made along the way.
Yeah.
And the thing we lose. Can I use? I think Newman is going to readdress the door in a moment, but is now looking at the pizza. So we've taken the pineapple off the pizza, so now we just have the bread of the pizza.
Mhm.
And so Newman wants to make like a Spam pinwheel. And so it'll be like you'll slice up little things of the Spam and then roll the pizza up into it. But he also has, because my second item is a bottle, what looks like ranch dressing.
Of Newman's own,
and
yeah.
It has the word Newman written on the front, and it's actually holy water. I did roll for that just to justify for everyone.
I remember.
Rolled for an adventurer's gear, and that's what I got was a bottle of holy water, and that's
Okay.
and so I'd like to add that as to like mix that with some of the pineapple we have left over for like a dipping sauce.
Okay. Okay. So because I will allow them to count as 2 separate cooking rolls.
I mean, I'll take the full one. I'll go for it. I mean, he's an artist. He wants to. This is his. Mona Lisa. He just had this idea of he saw the pizza fall on the floor and it kind of flopped. Spam in there.
This is his kobold with chicken earring. Yeah. So this is oh yeah. What is your ego?
7.
7. I don't know that you would survive a 7. If you want to try it, you can.
Can
But
I lend a paw to his genius?
yes, you can lend a paw. Okay.
Newman, I'm inspired by you. What can I do to assist in
right.
this grand creation?
Hold this very sharp implement towards me. No.
Yeah.
I need you. Okay, so we're doing a pineapple holy water suspension. And this literally just means that like Newman is like standing above the cooking thing because he's so we'll have to stay. We have to stay away from the oven though. We know how you feel about ovens and how ovens.
I'm going to be on a countertop chucking things at him.
Perfect. Yes. Yes.
Okay. This very inspired help adds a bonus die to Newman's roll. So his difficulty is now reduced to 3 die. And for Brad, your next action is going to have an extra difficulty die added. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But yes,
flames.
If you want to make this unholy abomination of spam roll.
The holiest of unholies.
Yes.
Okay, starting with a 3.
Okay.
And this is for ego, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a 5.
Oh no!
Just once.
And that's a 4. So now we are.
Okay.
Oopsie doodles.
Okay. So which item were you helping with?
The
Brad?
holy one. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was chucking him things.
You were chucking him things. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to try to pick these up and continue cooking?
I can attempt.
Okay.
I'll catch on fire, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Do I need to make a death save now? Or no, it's not dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous to cook.
But I do get a death thing. Right?
So we are playing with the house rule that because everyone's not played this before, we're not doing the fails as death checks.
So
Thank you.
Okay. So if you would like to attempt, Rebecca, I will allow you to also roll it as just 3.
Okay. And this is with my cooking skill?
Yes. So that'll be
Alright,
an ego
so
roll.
my
now
extraneous.
Newman is on the floor.
Oh,
having
is it
been knocked out
extraneous?
by
I'm
something.
sorry. I think it's an extraneous roll. In which
Alright.
case, actually, Brad,
Ooh.
not Brad. What is Newman? How could I forget Newman? Newman's own extraneous. Yeah, it still wouldn't have worked. Okay.
I rolled a 14.
Wait, you rolled a what?
A 14.
Okay. Yeah, this dish was not to be. I'm so sorry, Elle. Okay. But you can repurpose it as something else, unfortunately. Well, do you have to? The meat was already cooked and the bread was already cooked. And it's
Maybe
a
just
water
pinwheel. Maybe
pineapple
we remove the sauce. Maybe
The
this
sauce
is
was
the
just a
time.
bad idea.
You're right.
My thing is,
Sometimes
I
we
don't think you have to
admit
take
fault.
damage for that, Rebecca. Because yes, you're flammable, but you wouldn't have actually needed a heating element for that
Oh, sweet.
when you think about it. So,
Just a mixing bowl.
right.
Hello, Kobolds. We can't be. We can't copy ourselves. That was the problem. That was Vor saying, no, you must have more creativity. You must have more nuanced in your dishes. You can't be repetitive. So no more pineapple. Says
Somewhere
Vor.
more is like rolling his eyes. So, okay. So, no more pineapple, it seems to be, but I'm not going to hold you to that. So, are you cooking something else? Are you staying in the kitchen? What are you doing?
I remembered. Oh, go ahead. No, you first.
So Helga just wants to go find potatoes. So
That's fair.
Helga is going to try to unlock the door.
Helga is really the every kobold.
Get us out of here.
So, you were going to try to
Helga,
unlock the door, and are you doing anything special to unlock it? Or just.
What is a lock but a trap to keep us in this room?
Oh, okay. Okay. That was
Yes.
very persuasive. Okay. So then you are going to be using your trap skill. So that will be an ego roll.
Okay.
And I will call that I will call it 2 because you have the skill in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do this, Helga.
That was a
Helga,
5. My ego is 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so you
Huzzah.
got it?
Yes.
Okay. The door is unlocked. The door opens. And
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
so you're on a potato raid. And you can see the cave mouth, right? It opens and there's a path to the left, and then there's a path to the right.
Helga sniffs to see if she can detect the earthy smell of potatoes.
Ooh, can I help you? I'm like nature something.
I will take all the help I can get.
Yeah, I have a nature ability, so if you want help, I will assist you.
Okay. Let me see. What does nature do? Let me find it.
Hopefully it lets me sniff nature.
You already have like really good sense of smell just as kobolds.
Here,
let
call
me-
them.
Let me control find
Nature. So
It helps me
natural.
start fires, which I love. Finding
Right.
north,
Right.
avoiding poison ivy, stuff like that.
Finding
Selling cookies
or-
apparently is a nature ability.
Yeah, okay. So basically it's your Girl Scout thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, if you've got nature, you're a Girl Scout. And I would say Girl Scout knows how to find some potatoes, okay? So
Girl Scouts love French fries.
right. So I will allow it. And then yeah, I would say that's just a 1d6 difficulty roll.
4.
4. Okay.
Yes.
So you can smell that off to the right.
Mhm.
There is definitely the heady aroma of a pomme de terre. Because again, cave in France. So
Just gonna chant potatoes, and then turn down the right to follow my nose.
okay. So then there are yes. So there are 3 little areas here. Okay. So the first is the den that doesn't really count as a den. Okay. And then there's the exit that's being guarded so that you can't get out. And then this is where the orcs are with Tabriz. And they are saying, what? You said potatoes? What? Are you giving us something yummy? What's happening? What's happening?
We seek potatoes to make you a
What
wonderful
is your
dish.
name? What is your quest? Okay.
Potatoes.
Potatoes are both.
What is your favorite color? Potato. So- okay. Okay. So then how are you gonna answer the orcs?
I am on a quest to find potatoes to bring you one of the most delectable dishes we've ever had.
King Torg. So
Oh, King
Oh,
Torg.
hail King Torg.
okay. So they're gonna let you pass because they know the potatoes are coming. So if you go then to this little area here, let me. Of course, now my pen's not gonna write. There we go. See that tiny little X that I drew? Maybe, maybe not. That doesn't show up on camera at all. The cold larder.
Yes.
So near the cold larder, there are a couple of sacks of potatoes just sitting there.
They come
Some
in
of your
sacks.
kobold brethren, or is there a gender neutral
Siblings.
equivalent of that? Huh?
Siblings.
Colleagues. Your
Colleagues.
kobold colleagues.
Our
Comrades.
kibblings.
Yes.
Siblings.
Your kiblings have found some potatoes. There's a farmer nearby, and you stole it from his crop. He's very mad about it, but he can't seem to find where you live. So right now you have potatoes, and they were outside of the cold larder. So what's happening?
Spam potatoes.
Pick up the sack of potatoes.
Are you still holding your spear?
Yes, but my other hand was empty.
Okay. So you put down So the sharpened stick, are you using that as the skewer for
Oh, I
the
left the sharpened stick still in the corner. It's
Okay,
a trap
okay.
to
Perfect.
catch other food.
Okay.
Worked very well
So
the first
then
time.
you have a hand free for potatoes.
For second potatoes.
So you can bring your potatoes back to the kitchen. And then what else would you like to do?
I would like to say a cheer ups, probably. You know.
Oh, yes.
Someone
No,
carrying a
yes.
sack full of anything, I imagine.
Potatoes! Yeah.
I turn to Newman and I look at. Did we already use the spam?
You
yeah,
tried to use the spam.
We tried.
But
So is it used up? If that's the case,
I feel like you could probably salvage it.
we can make this. We can make this work. We'll stretch it out.
Newman, do we boil? Do we mash? Do we stick in a stew?
Yes.
All of the above.
And then Helga just
better.
kind of holds her potatoes and looks and says, "But I do not know if I can cook."
Leave it to me, human, the non-human.
I offer you
Hold
these
the can opener.
potatoes.
I would like to say that the can opener itself has obviously been tried to be used as literally every tool. So there's like dried on stuff because it's been used to stir things. It's like there's parts of it that have been sharpened but have been dulled because he's like tried to cut through.
It's like when he sees in a pan.
Yeah. It's a very seasoned can opener. Yeah. It's a can opener that's seen war. So
if we do spam, potatoes, and spices, because you say you have some spices, right?
I have some spices. You are welcome to use them.
So with a 3.
that would
For
be a
that,
3
or-
difficulty roll. And I guess cook is extraneous rather than, let me double check before I tell you the wrong thing. Yes. So cook is extraneous. So you'd have to get at or under an 8.
So if we're going for 3 difficulty, I think Newman is so excited that just the whole time he's kind of like, and he starts going, yip, 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 yip. He makes a little kobold bark whenever he gets really excited. With that quality, if I'm going yip, 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 yip.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So that can be a bark like a kobold. So that'll be 2.
I guess to be like, kind of
Right.
sounds like yip to human ears, maybe.
Yeah. So that'll be 2 dice.
All right, that's a 2 followed by a 2.
All
4,
right.
below the 8.
So we have a potato and spam stew, and with some special spices, this stew will be irresistible. So you're down to 18 cooking dice remaining. Do we want to try to feed some of the orcs now, or are we going to wait and give them all of the food at the end?
Well, we have all of our appetizers, I think.
Appetizers, you're right.
We have our cake. We have our.
I love the cake as an appetizer.
Yes.
Yeah.
A rat kebab, and then the boiled mashed stewed potato and spam with spices.
An excellent way to open their palate.
Right.
I'm gonna pick the sack that the potatoes were in up off of the floor and hand it to Helga. Add this to your trap.
Nice. Okay.
Inspired.
Very good idea. Okay.
So Helga just takes the stick and uses it to prop open the entrance of the sack.
Beautiful.
That way,
Okay.
something goes in.
Yeah.
That was simple.
Brad's gonna
Emphasis on simple.
Yes. Brad's gonna take the flour and have in their empty hand just a handful of flour ready to go as when we go to present the food.
Okay.
The other one's holding a bag that Brad has not let go of yet. You don't know what the bag is.
Okay. So the orcs in the dining area with the chicken bone throne right there. So Torg is here, right? Be on your guard. The orcs are at the tables and they can see you start to approach and they get excited. They're starting to hit the table.
We bring the potatoes.
Ba, 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 and then flour just kind of
Okay, and they're all just okay. So
Welcome to the culinary experience of a lifetime. Before you, we present chicken a la cake, a fusion of appetizer
Chicken roll.
and cake.
Chicken a la King Torg. Okay.
Oh, hell, King Torg!
I'll help
King
you, Torg.
Torg.
Okay. Okay. So, are you wanting? There are a couple of ways we can handle this. Either each orc could take a little bit of it, or some of the orcs could eat all of it. So it's whichever you'd prefer.
I think this is going to be a 17-ish course meal, so they would all have little nibblies. Yes, I feel that's the vision.
Yeah.
This is the amuse-bouche. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So. Okay. So then all 7 orcs take some bites, and this was 26 minus 8. 1928. Okay. So they are all down to 2, except, well, no, we'll say Tabriz also ate 1. Okay. So Tabriz only needs 4 more, and all of the orcs only need 2 more. So.
Okay.
So we're at 14 total. Right? 2, 7
You're
times
at
2,
18.
18. Ah,
Because there are 7 orcs,
7
and they
times
also
2
need
is
2.
14, not 12.
Right. And then
We're learning, folks.
Math is
There you
hard
go.
for kobolds.
this is
It's
why
so
it's
hard.
librarians attempt games and not mathematicians attempt them. Okay. So the orcs are like, okay, we've amused, we've booshed. What's coming up?
Be prepared for the next delicious delight. And then I like pretend to kind of actually I want to poof.
You want to poof?
I want to poof so bad.
How would that work?
And
Okay.
so
you have magic.
I have
so you
magic.
could.
So that's what I'm
Let's
gonna
see.
do.
Okay.
It's
Flower.
completely yes. I think it's just it's just verbal. So I go poof and I drop and I'll just drop the flower. And
Just saying that aerated particulate is flammable. Just
Right.
put that out there.
What?
Aerated particulate, you know, like when you
So
put
the
like
flower is flammable?
yeah,
Yes, it
if
is,
you
it's very
aerate it.
I'm just on fire.
no, it needs an extra thing, but it doesn't help
Yeah.
if we're
You
like
would
if I
need
if I
ignite.
poofed.
That's what
Oh,
they do,
I might
right?
poof in the kitchen. Well, we'll see what happens. That's Molly's job.
Oh no.
I made a decision.
Okay. So if you disappear in a puff of smoke and sulfur on your next turn, you're going to have to make a 3 dice ego roll.
Excellent.
And that is going to be, let's see. Yeah, because you still have the 1 dice from before when
Yep.
you helped with the
Awesome.
failed spam dish. So
This
that's
is
going to be a 4 dice ego
Brad
roll.
made this poor choice thinking that it would entertain everybody and be really, really cool.
I mean,
and
to be clear, I am heavily entertained.
I need to honor Brad's decision.
That's
This
fair.
was
Part
That's
of the dining theater experience we're
Mhm.
trying to cultivate.
Right. Yeah, you need the right atmosphere here.
Okay.
So, okay,
4?
so that is going to be a 4 dice ego roll. And
gonna
either way, because you've done this and magic is dangerous, you have to take a death check. So we're going
Yes.
to do the death check after the ego roll.
Okay, 1, 2, 2, 3. So that's I feel less than 11. Math 5, 4, 9.
Okay. So you've succeeded. You have poofed. All right. But you've also taken a death check. So I mean, this is your first death check,
Mhm.
yes? Yeah.
Yeah, so just 1d6.
Well, it would be 2d6 plus your death check, but you'd be
Okay.
at 13 at the worst. So,
So
it's
that's 5. Yeah.
okay. So you're alive for now. Ahem. So you've poofed. What do the other kobolds do when she poofs out?
I think Newman sees the poof and just like instantly and then just runs back to the kitchen.
Helga
I
just
just
stares with her mouth open.
Okay.
I just run to the spot where Brad was, and I'm like touching the ground, like trying to figure like what just happened.
And it was like, he's dead.
He got turned into a horny toad. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So then eventually all of you are gonna make it to the kitchen, but
Helga wants to stop by the larder on the way back
larder,
to see if
okay.
there's any other proteins in
Okay.
there.
So if you raid the cold larder, can you roll a d6 for me?
Of course. That's a 6.
Okay. So you found dire shrimp. 1 vicious armored sea creature, 2 servings once it's no longer biting and pinching. So currently it's alive, but once you've killed it, it will be good enough for 2.
I try to spear it with my spork-tipped spear.
Okay.
So I can just carry it back as a trophy, and then I potentially have another hand free if I succeed.
Okay. Okay. So then if you're going to try to spear it, give me a 1 dice brawn roll.
Beautiful. I succeed. Rolled a 2.
Perfect. Okay, so you have a dire shrimp, good enough for 2 meals. And then what are you doing? Are you still in the room with the orcs?
As soon as either Newman or Helga started running for the kitchen, I would follow them, but still very confused because I don't know where my
Right, your friend just
my
disappeared. Yeah.
bouncy, flammable cooking buddy went.
Okay, so are you going to have any fun reactions when you go back into the kitchen and find Brad?
Yes, I am gonna just run up to Brad, like, to do the biggest high five, but we're both bouncy, so we just like bounce.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like if you threw 2 bouncy balls at each other, right? And it's gonna go boom. Okay. So then you're both gonna bounce backward and take 1 damage. So
That's fair. Worth it.
okay.
It's worth it.
So you've both lost 1 hit.
Mhm.
And then we've got all of you back in the kitchen, and Helga has arrived with shrimp.
Mm,
So what are you gonna do?
we have shrimp, and now we have another Brad. This is amazing.
Yes. Wait, am I the Brad that was the Brad before, or am I new Brad?
This is
That will be our next dish. The
Brad of
Theseus
Theseus.
ship of shrimp.
Yeah.
Theseus shrimp.
Ship of Bradtheus.
It's like the
Yes.
Prestige. Somewhere there's another Brad out there.
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited that you made that reference. Okay. I keep trying to make people read
The problem is that he just
no one
instantly
does.
evaporates. Like that was the
Yeah,
that was the
Such a
sulfur
waste of
spill.
meat that we could have put in a dish.
for sure.
Right. Now,
Okay.
what goes with shrimp,
Every kobold
friends?
sorcerer is literally just the prestige. It's just a kobold blowing themselves up entirely.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you gonna do? Are you cooking something with shrimp? Are you doing something else ridiculous?
Shrimp. Can
Yeah.
I shrimp in the holy water?
Shrimp in the-
You know,
Yes.
in holy water is seemed to be as it might be delicious, like shrimp and white wine, or some, another, and it's also an appetizer for the main part of the main dish. Ah, how
2 appetizer courses now.
2 appetizers.
Yes, they're large orcs. They have big tummies. They must have 2 appetizers.
Tapases.
It is maybe on my last trip out of the cave, I heard of this word called tapas.
Tapas.
Tapas,
Tapas.
tapas.
We
Yeah,
should
that's true.
Tapas,
You're in
tapas.
France, so some vaguely European people could have been traveling through talking about them. Yeah.
Très bon, très bon.
Okay. I'd
So-
like to explore and look to see if there's other ingredients in our like what would go with shrimp?
Pasta.
Pasta, yes.
Okay.
Like
So
SpaghettiOs.
I was thinking more like seashells, because the
Yeah.
C and C reference.
So okay. Then I am going to have you scrounge in the cupboards one more time. If you could roll a d6.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. So you have found Old Cave seasoning. Think Old Bay, but it's Old Cave, which could go with shrimp. You never know. It has 1d6 uses, and using the spice reduces the difficulty of a cook roll by 2 dice, but does not count as an item for filling purposes. So very good seasoning. Unfortunately, no pasta yet. But
do we still have flour?
I would also, I was gonna say, I would also be inclined to let you make pasta and then use it as one ingredient to make something else and stack the.
Would that be cooking or would that be prep? Like to make like pasta from like, I guess, whatever holy water or eggs.
Is there a pasta roller in here?
You can.
We could put so many foods through a pasta roller.
That's true. I mean, this is a top of the line kitchen. These are gourmand kobolds. Okay. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume there's a pasta roller.
That I will put my hand into my bag of holding of chickens.
I thought you were going to put your hand into the pasta roller.
Oh, no.
Skip that step.
Just going right for it.
Maybe if we're at the edge.
Right.
I grab a chicken.
Okay.
Okay, friend, I need an egg. So I'm going to encourage an egg from this chicken.
Oh no! How are you going to do that?
If I scare you.
Scare it.
Yes. Okay, look. The most existential dread you could feel is knowing that you are never going to be the same person you were before, because change happens so much. Can't go through a river twice because it's going to change. So you too, the chicken, even you, the chicken, will change, and one day you won't be you, and you won't recognize the you that you were before.
Helga just goes into a corner and cries, hearing Brent.
All the other kobolds just sitting there.
Okay, so
we just
all
start
of the
cowering
other kobolds,
together.
All of the other kobolds make an ego saving throw for me. Then let's see. We are going to call this.
Nonsense.
I'm going to call it bully. So that's brawn.
Yeah.
So make a brawn roll and call it 1d6 because it's a chicken.
Okay, 1d6. Let's do it. A 4. My brawn is only 5. Success.
Okay. So you've succeeded in scaring the chicken. Has she scared the rest of you? Roll 1d6.
No, just small tears.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
It's less upsetting than the absence of potatoes, but it's still upsetting.
Okay. So you're not too upset to continue, but you are very aware of the danger lurking in Brad's mind. Okay. So but the chicken does say and spits out an egg. Okay.
Egg.
So there is an egg.
Okay.
And a chicken.
The chicken's still alive. So
sorry.
Yes.
We'll get to the chicken. Brad too has some good stuff up his sleeve.
Brad too. Okay. So are you going to then make some pasta? What's happening?
Yes, I'll try and make pasta. And then I will give the pasta to whoever can cook or would like to cook, even though we're bad at fire. Yay.
Right.
I think Newman is definitely ready to like start the pasta and the shrimp and the holy water.
Okay. Make my little bowl in the flour, crack my egg, and then I toss the shells in as well, because waste not, want not.
Who doesn't want some crunch, right? Yeah.
Texture.
I'll mix. And then through the pasta machine. All the good stuff.
Roll 1 reflexes roll.
Okay. 4. And my reflexes are 11.
Okay, perfect. So you have pasta to give to whoever is cooking this shrimp dish.
Here you go, Newman.
And then that plus that old cave, right?
Yes, the old cave. Yes.
Old cave seasoning. Okay. So this would have been 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Pasta,
with the holy water
and that. But with the old cave, it takes it down to 1. So it's a 1d6 cooking roll.
And that's a 5.
Perfect. So you have
like conductor.
So you have a very seasoned shrimp stew, and that's going to be 3 dice worth. And there's still 1 serving of shrimp left over that you can use to cook with.
Beautiful.
And so you need 15 more cooking dice worth of food.
Helga checks her bag.
You check the bag. Okay.
Check my tray.
Roll a d6 for me.
4.
4. Okay. Gonna pause and check in with my players, not my kobolds. How do we feel about light kobold cannibalism?
I mean,
I
gotta
mean,
eat.
We gotta feed these orcs.
Okay.
So technically, it's not cannibalism if we're serving them to non-kobolds.
That's true.
That's
true.
It's just murder.
Yes. Okay.
On the scale of potatoes to murder, what are we cooking today?
Very true. So then, okay.
Yes, good to go.
You've checked the trap and you've caught another kobold because once you
It's
open
Brad?
the door, huh?
I do
Brad, you
the
look
Spider-Man. Wait, friends, no, friends. What's going on?
Brad too, stop, Brad.
Wait, but I'm Brad.
Brad, do you need to kill your
there can't
former
be 2
form?
Brads. So what are you
There
gonna
can only
do?
be 1 Brad. Well, it's going to be me. No one's going to be me. I fight other Brad. Random Brads fight.
Okay.
How do we
Brads
know
fight.
which Brad is which?
Do you want me to play one of the Brads or do you want to play against yourself?
I'm happy to play against myself.
Okay, go ahead. Have fun.
Helga opened the bag and other Brad emerged, and now she's just standing there like her mind is blown.
Yeah.
I have my slingshot ready, but I don't know which one to fire at yet.
So the Brad that was in the bag's like, well, if we're going to fight, I'm going to start. The other Brad's like, well, too late. I already slapped you. So we're going to start a slap fight against each other.
As you do.
But the problem is they're bouncy. And so I would like to have one of them eventually like fight towards like a flammable, like the fire in the hearth.
Okay. So
I'm backing away.
So the Brad that was in the bag is bouncy but was hit. But it's also in a bag. So the bounce is contained a little bit. It's down to 7 hits.
Well, now we're the same. We both have 7 hit points. Metaphorically, this is very confusing. Well, I don't know what to do. We're having an existential crisis. That's what we're doing. Oh no!
Wait, are you playing it so that when Brad 1 takes damage, Brad 2 takes the same damage?
Yes.
We're gonna kill both Brads.
Okay. So then,
funny.
So okay.
Brad, calm down. I don't know if I want.
What if we just take a leg from Brad too?
Oh,
I know how to decide this.
okay.
Both of you hold out your arms, or one of you, or each of you, the same you. 2 arms should be in front of me right now. And then I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to stick my tongue out, and then give me the palm of your paw. And then I'm going to lick each Brad's hand, and whichever one is tastier.
Well,
I mean, presumably Brad 2, who is involved in the cooking, would have some old cave seasoning still on them.
Oh no.
We've already had a seafood dish. Brad 1, you're going in the pot.
Oh no. Okay, so then
I put both of my arms on Brad's shoulders. There's nothing more honorable than being the biggest part of a dish, whether that be the chef or the main ingredient.
there's no small parts in a dish, only small actors.
Okay. So has Brad 1 gone willingly?
Brad 1 has gone willingly into the stew.
He sacrificed himself for the sake of the group. Yeah, it's Gollum falling into the volcano. Okay, so yeah.
I never knew I could be so self-sacrificing. I'm an amazing kobold.
Yeah, I mean,
Helga pats Brad on the shoulder.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's remember, no repeats. For said no repeats, just for future edification.
Okay. So you have got a kobold in a pot. Yeah.
Do we
Mhm.
add the
Right.
shrimp?
Yep.
Are we adding shrimp? Or are we doing something else with it?
I've got spices.
That feels like a good use of the yes. It's surf and turf. We'll have a surf and turf stew, and then we'll have a surf and turf stew. Yes.
Surf and bread.
A surf and
Yes.
surf and a surf and turf. Okay.
Mhm.
I love it. Okay.
Surf, 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 surf.
Surf, 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 turf.
So then with the spices that are going to make this kobold taste fantastic, it's kobold plus spices is 2 difficulty dice. So who is rolling for cooking this kobold?
I
can
will
roll
put
on
my
this.
health on the line to make this bread dish.
I
Okay.
think Brad would want that.
I
If I
know
could
Brad would
briefly
want
clarify
that.
something. If I could briefly clarify something before we cook Brad 1. When you were fighting Brad 1 as Brad 2,
Yeah.
your damage was the same, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
how
no.
is cooking Brad 1 going to affect Brad 2?
I'm probably gonna also die. But I don't know it yet.
Okay. Okay.
Brad has made
Just wanted
life
to put
choices.
that on your radar. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if are there any spells? I would like to poof again.
Okay.
Make another
The moment that I cook.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna poof the moment that you cook. Okay. So all
Oh
right.
wait, this is 3 because I still have the thing from when I helped Helga.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
All right, so 3. What's my extraneous is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I rolled 8.
Perfect. Okay. So at the exact moment that this Brad 1 stew has been completed, you hear and you look, and Brad 2 is gone. Well, actually,
Check the bag.
Brad 2 is dead on the floor, and you think that Brad 3 is non-existent, right? But so you see poof, and then you see dead Brad. But we're just gonna. So where does Brad 3 poof to?
Brad 3 poofs to the orc room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the orcs are like, "Hey, magic, it's back!" Okay.
Friends, I would love to tell you that our next appetizer round is almost here. I just wanted to hype it up a little bit. There's going to be some delicious surf and turf. There we go.
Looks like surf and turf is back on the menu, boys. Okay, so
Make my way back to the kitchen.
okay, so when Brad 3 comes in, how do the 3 of you react?
Helga was moving
Yes.
Brad2's body into the corner for us to eat if we needed to.
Okay.
And she like looks between the two and then just goes to stand in her corner to cry a little bit more.
Okay.
this is a lot for poor
Yeah.
Helga.
Yeah. Okay.
I just high five Brad 3 again.
Yeah.
Like so excited.
Okay. So
And then
2
another.
things happen. First, takes 2 damage from the flames from cooking. Okay. And then second is that because you've just used the poof spell again, you have to take another death check. So now the rolls matter.
Okay.
So you have to roll 2d6 and then add 2 because you have 2 death checks.
Okay. That is 5 and 5 and 2. That's 12.
Oh, you just made it. Okay. We were about to be on Brad 4. Okay. So all right. So Brad 3 is alive. Brad 2's body has been dragged away by a very upset Helga. And you've just completed a kobold stew. Because a kobold is a little bit more substantial, let's say, than a can of Spam or some picked over chicken. I am going to say that this can count as 4 dice instead of 2. Okay, so that's going to count as 4, and you're 11 dice away from feeding everybody.
Good job, Brads.
Yeah. Good job, Brad. Brad's taken several for the team. Okay.
The best day of my life.
Oh,
You need
I said it's
more
probably my
protein.
first day of life.
that's true.
Before if we're gonna bring the food out, before we go out, I would like to stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Okay.
Please.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Mm.
So the fire is gone.
Yes.
Okay.
You've just been standing here.
Just like casually on fire. Like, yeah. Okay.
That
No.
is so hot right now.
I will say, because you've stopped, dropped, and rolled, the fire is out, but you're bouncy, so you're just kind of like, right? Yeah. The entire world is a trampoline for you. So, yeah.
Cancel.
Okay. So, what are you gonna do? Are you bringing out your, what was it? We have a shrimp stew.
Mhm,
We have
Pasta
a kobold as well. Your surf and
Mhm.
surf and surf and turf.
mhm.
Are we
Again,
gonna
the
do that?
flour. Yeah, we're gonna bring out the flour again.
Okay,
and then-
yes. So Brad 3 gets a handful of flour. And then you proceed to the dining area, and King Torg is on his chicken
Oh,
bone
hell, King
train.
Torg!
Oh, hell,
Oh, hail
King
King
Torg.
Torg.
Okay. So he is on his chicken bone throne, and he sees these two very delectable looking stews come carrying out. And he says, these kobolds, not the stupidest kobolds. And he's very excited. So then you, I'm assuming, present it to the orcs. Yes.
Yes, please enjoy this appetizer round of existential dread and confusion.
Okay. No flour?
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I had any more left, so it's like now it's.
Yeah, okay. But they're expecting it now, so they're not so right. And so they're gonna dig in, and they are all, we're splitting all of the food dice for all of them. So that's 7, I think. Wait, so the shrimp dish was shrimp, water, pasta, and seasoning. So that was 4. So it's 8 altogether. Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. So then Tabriz goes down 1, and all the orcs go down 1 too. So the orcs only need 1 more food die for all of them, and Tabriz needs 3 more. Okay, so we're at 10 left.
Mhm.
Okay, so
We can do it, friends.
We have Brad 2 to work with,
that's true, you do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And a chicken.
and a chicken.
And a chicken, and potentially 3 more chickens. So
My spices are gone. I only had them for 2 meals, and I've used them both. But now I have another sack. Do you want? I'm gonna give the sack to Helga.
Helga's so excited to get back to
What's
the
the
kitchen and set
brand?
up another trap.
okay, so lots of traps, and all right. So yeah, you're gonna go back to the kitchen. What's happening?
Helga stops by the larder again on the way. That's just
Okay.
I
Whatever.
think maybe Newman has picked up on this as well, and just, where do all these ingredients come
We're
from?
just a bunch of lemmings.
Just like,
Okay, are you checking the cold larder or the cupboards, Russell?
I'm checking the cold larder.
Okay.
I'll check the cupboards, I think.
Okay, so both of you roll a d6.
2.
2 and 2. Okay. So Helga has found turkey, 1 live turkey. It's alive.
Excellent.
It will also count as 2 servings once you've killed it, but you have to kill it first. And in the cupboards, Newman has found 2 servings of his choice of fruit or vegetable.
Oh, well, of course, one of them is going to be celery.
Celery. Okay. So we have at least 1 celery.
I think carrot. So what is it? Carrots and peas. Could it be carrots and
Yeah,
peas?
Peas and carrots. Peas and carrots.
Peas and
Okay.
Peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots. Okay. And then we have a live turkey. How are you going to deal with this live turkey?
Helga looks down at the bag that gave her in the dining room and is like, trap! And so she tries to catch the turkey in the sack.
Okay. So roll for reflexes, and that's going to be We're going to call that one 2 because it's a little bit bigger and bulkier than a chicken.
Oh, I rolled an 8 and I have an 8.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
You can meet it and it's still fine. So you have managed to trap the turkey.
Yes.
Okay. Turkey's still alive in the trap, or is it?
Yes, it's still alive. I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm so excited to like share this with.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a very, very angry moving sack. Okay.
Mhm.
And you're gonna go back to the kitchen. And what are you presenting to them? Both of you, I guess. What are you presenting?
I say, look what I have found, and I toss the sack up in the air.
Like the same, but it's all just loose carrots and peas.
Just carrots and peas flying everywhere. Vegetable confetti. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna save some of the peas and carrots for that's a great trick, Newman. And then we'll have the feathers too. Yes. Just
I'm still here.
ambiance.
I'm still here.
Yes.
But the turkey is alive inside the sack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think like I've
so-
had so much fun killing things. Like maybe somebody else wants to kill a thing.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
yell pull for you to throw the turkey in the air again and aim my slingshot at it.
Wonderful. Okay. So then, okay. So she's gonna throw it, I'm assuming, in the air, and then to shoot with the slingshot, you are going to roll. Let me see what the difficulty should be. Do.
And are there things in the kitchen that I can just grab up to like put in the slingshot?
I mean, it's still a cave, right? So
Yeah.
presumably, yeah, you can find a rock somewhere.
Okay,
So,
sweet.
where'd it go? I had a thing here. Do. Hold music, commencing now. Do.
You know, it'd be a good time, fellow Koboldians. We might sing the beer and kobold song.
Oh,
Because at downtimes it's the national song. Beer and kobold.
bold.
Beer,
Beer and
all.
cold.
You have a cold beer with a
The
cold,
Cold
ball.
beer with a cold
Cold
bald.
And
With
there's
a cold ball.
beer for all kobolds.
Come on.
Okay, so what am I failing at then? Or do you want to make it instead that you automatically succeed at shooting the turkey?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like bardic
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just tossing the turkey up in the air as we do this.
Sure. Okay. So then you have successfully shot this very confused turkey. And so you have enough turkey for 2 meals. You still have 1 serving of shrimp left over. And you still have bread too left over as well. If I'm
Bread.
remembering correctly.
Shrimp.
Turkey and Brad.
Bread. Then turkey. Then chicken. Then shrimp. Then
We could
peas.
stuff the turkey with Brad.
Yeah.
Put the shrimp in the turkey and the turkey.
turkey in the Yes.
It could be like a Brad stuffing. Yeah, for sure.
A Durkin.
A cornbread stuffing.
Turbraden.
So
Turbraden. Yes, Turbraden.
Oh
Brad
yeah,
would have
and
wanted
the
that. I would know.
and the peas and the carrots.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So a Brad stuffed turkey with peas and carrots on the side. Sounds delectable. So that would be, again, because the peas and carrots are a side dish, I will allow you to cook it separate.
Yes.
And so that would be 2 separate cooking rolls, both of 2, unless you're seasoning them with something.
Are the peas and carrots going to be a hot dish or a cold dish?
Very good point. Are they?
If we make it cold, I will not set on fire. But I
think
also
that's
don't
all
really
that
care.
we need.
Always
What-
a good consideration.
Yes.
Just
Sometimes the
hand it.
contrast between hot and cold is delightful on the palate. So I think a cold pea and carrot dish is right up the alley.
Okay.
Also, I don't think you like being on fire, right?
I mean, it has its moments.
Right.
Cold peas and carrots with warm bread and turkey.
Okay.
Beautiful. Are we doing
So-
the full 3 like are we doing shrimp in the bread in the turkey or is the
Oh.
shrimp separate?
Oh,
would
so like a
that for?
Is there-
turducken, but it'll be like a
Bread Durkin.
brad shrimp.
Do we still have shrimp?
For
Yeah,
shrimp.
We had one. We had one serving. So
Shrimp-
turkey,
Shrimp bread.
bread.
Or
Because
shrimp
the
bread.
turkey is bigger than bread. Yes, that's the order, and then shrimp.
Oh yeah, because
Her bread shrimp.
Right.
bread shrimp.
Yes.
That's
Bread
what-
shrimp.
Okay. So that'll be a 3 difficulty roll for that one. So whoever is cooking that one.
I can do
is
that one.
going to- Okay.
Right. And I'll do the peas and carrots.
3 plus.
I rolled a 7 for peas and carrots, and my extraneous is 8.
Okay.
6.
Yes.
7,
All
8.
right. So you have 2 very delectable dishes. And because the turkey too, and now this is a 3 protein dish, right?
Yes.
So you've got a kobold that was worth 3 and a turkey that was worth 3, I think. And a shrimp. Y'all, this is a very intense dish. So we're gonna call this a 7-point dish. And
Bread.
then you've got peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Are you adding anything to the peas and carrots? Because you're only 10 away. And
One more ingredient.
yeah.
Secret ingredient.
Can I search for peanut butter? Oh wait, no. I was gonna say celery and peanut butter, but there's no meat in that.
That's true. Yeah. It's gotta
There
have
could be a chicken in that. I'd say grab the chicken.
Did it.
Chicken
Okay.
and celery.
chicken and
Chicken's
celery.
on a log.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chicken's on a log.
It's an
Chicken and
interactive
salad.
dish. You like order it and the chicken is eating the peas and everything, but
Oh, for sure.
we'll
Yeah.
let them figure it out.
Yeah, it's all about the presentation. So,
Yeah.
okay. So then the chicken is still alive, yes?
Did we still alive?
Is it one that you just pulled out of your bag of chicken holding?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would assume it is alive. Yeah. So then someone has to kill the chicken.
I will wrestle the chicken.
Okay. Wrestling. Okay. So then that is going to be a brawn roll up against its agility, and the chicken's agility is 1. So
In
1d6.
this corner, we have Newman the chef, and in this other corner, we have a random chicken I found in my bag. What?
Wait, so which one? This is on brawn.
So it's going to be 1d6.
So I get to roll 1d6?
Mhm.
Okay. I got a 1.
Okay. Well, lucky for you. Because this chicken, it's already been forced to lay an egg and it's very upset. But I think that it's just decided today's not its day, and that's okay. So the chicken died. And
It's
Here you go.
okay. It's okay. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Relax.
go to sleep. Be at peace, son of Gondor. And so the yeah.
Oh, yeah, King Gondor.
Son of Cluckdor. And so the chicken is dead. And then how are you going to incorporate this into your
Break it to hiss.
peas
Here
and
you
carrots
go.
dish?
So I am going to take the chicken and just chop its feet off. This is going to be a chicken feet delicacy, and I'm going to take the celery and like stick it on the tops of the legs so it just is the chicken feet standing up on the dish, and then put some feathers around it.
Yes. Yes. Inspired by
How brave.
folklore Baba Yaga.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So with that, are we ready to serve?
I think so.
Okay.
We're-
So the orcs have been getting restless because they're still hungry, and they think, man, these kobolds, they're tiny enough that we should eat them. So why are we not eating them? Right? And King Torg has been able to hold him.
Oh, hell, King Torg!
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell, King Torg!
Okay. Amber has saved your butt so many times. Just throw that out there.
So dead. More dead.
So he's been able to hold them off for this long. So when they see you coming with this veritable smorgasbord, they are very excited. And they're saying, okay, so what are you gonna do? How are you presenting this dish?
Fellows, today we have our culmination of delight and delicacies. We have the trifecta of turbot shrimp, and to complement that, and to delight your palate, a cool Baba Yaga, celery, peas, and carrots. Enjoy.
Okay. Okay. So they are very excited about this, and they eat up the turbot shrimp and the Baba Yaga on a log situation that we have.
Yaga.
Yeah, yes, on a log, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they eat up the on a log, yeah, and the orcs say, "Oh, okay, I'm ready for a journey now." Okay, and Tabriz says, "Fine, we can leave for now, but we'll be back. We'll be back for all of you."
Please leave us a good Yip review.
Yip, yip.
Yip, yip.
Okay. And Tabriz just kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, "Come on, we have to dragon and kill." Okay. And so he and the orcs are gonna leave. And King Torg
Oh, hell, King Torg!
Oh, hell, King Torg!
rewards you all for your bravery with 5 victory points each. So it's a tie, you all win. Okay. So
Well done.
that is Kobolds Ate My Baby.
Oh my gosh, the chaos. The chaos.
Chaos.
I feel like our highest mayhem session.
It's been
I do like that it's designed for that, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Designed for
mayhem
mayhem.
is encouraged in this game for
Yes.
sure.
And definitely the you'd mentioned, Molly, the die forward, fail forward idea that it's okay. Like, you have plenty of opportunities to keep trying and to succeed, but death is inevitable. And have, like, because it was nice to be able to not care, like, okay, I can be optimized to do things. It's like, Brad wants to poof. Brad doesn't care if what happens. Brad is gonna poof. It's
Yeah.
like, the freedom to just let loose was a delight.
I really like that about this game. I know on my end it was really easy to set up for. And once you're familiar enough with the rules, like you can run this really fast. And it's simple enough that you can do it with a slightly younger audience, but just be aware that if you're using a pre-written campaign, sometimes they are a bit PG-13. So good for adults for that reason, but the rules aren't too crazy.
It definitely fits this vibe, like as far as, so like I'm thinking about games like Munchkin, and
Yes.
like that sort of aesthetic of a sort of bridging game,
Yes.
kind of, because the idea is that they're using a lot of material. I mean, the beer and pretzel system is obviously a tongue-in-cheek, like, you know, so.
Yeah. But I agree. I like that the deaths are front and center, because I know that with some of my players, for instance, in D&D, they get so scared of something going wrong that they're just paralyzed. They don't want to do anything. So I feel like this is a good game to get people into a mode of like doing things and not worrying about the consequences, because you're going to be fine. It's going to keep going. You're still going to have fun, you know?
I like too that, like, as you're reading through the rule book, there's, you know, the book tells you not to get hung up on the rules. So at times where I was like, oh wait, like how does this thing work? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say what I want to do, and Molly can decide if I'm doing it wrong or if I'm gonna have a death check.
Right, for sure. Like, yeah. It's low stakes, low stress, but very much high mayhem.
Yeah. Only mayhem.
Yes.
Well, there was a bit of ennui in our session.
Oh
But...
yeah. I mean, I think though, because we're like, and in general for fantasy games, I think one of the things that mechanically we talk about it, but it usually doesn't bear out in the game, is like ages of things. So like the idea of an elf living for 300 years,
Mhm.
like as a human, we can't really conceive of that.
Right.
And so it's interesting to kind of try to inhabit a character whose life might be like a week long. And like, and so like for them, you know, that moment to moment, the importance of every little thing, but
Mm.
also the fact that like, you know, oh, well, Brad, welcome, Brad 8, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that just
knows?
being like a normal sort of circumstance.
For sure.
I do like because we've been playing a lot of just single page RPGs and mini and micro ones. This
Mhm.
one has a little bit more crunch to it, a little bit more versatility, and I
Mhm.
think that's fun to be able to give options. Sometimes players want simple and uncomplicated, but sometimes players want to be able to make that strange and beautiful
Yeah.
character. Like, you know, what as I was going through and making Brad, I'm like, I need to learn more about Brad. Who is this kobold? What do their feelings and thoughts, and having the different skills allows me to kind of lean into more story aspects.
For sure. And I think that if you were to play this game like over a longer period of time, with the victory points, I didn't mention it until the very end there, but you can trade in your victory points for special items once you get back to the caves. And so you can customize your character even more. And certain outfits give you different abilities and things like that. So there's a lot of potential for that.
Oh, I would like to mention the game that we played was an older edition of Kobolds. There
Yes.
is backer kit by ninth level games. I think just finished their latest
Yes.
campaign, and there's a new version coming out in October-ish. So the rules might change a little bit between what we're playing and the new one, but there's still these rules. We've linked it all in the uh, resource document. And
Mhm.
if you have any questions, please let us know in the chat. We will get to them. But what other Molly, how was it to GM this game? Like learning and like setup and all that for you?
It was fun. Yeah. I think that if I hadn't used a pre-written one, it would have taken a little bit longer because I would have had to draw out the map. But even the maps are super simple. And they have in the GM's section of the manual, like a very straightforward way of doing that. So it just helped with story to have something already, you know, but you don't need it in order to play this game at all.
I think a thing that I really like about this game is that it seems really approachable from like a GM standpoint, but it has more versatility than say like Honey Heist. Like you can't like really have like a cozy version of Honey Heist. There's going to be a level of murder and carnage because it's built into the game.
Yeah.
And this one had it similarly, but it's still like it was very different than like if we had gone out on a quest or something.
For sure.
So
I
I
can
like
picture. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I really like that it's like a nice. It's not like you have to learn everything like D&D to run a one shot that you could then build on. If you had, you know, patrons who were interested in coming back, like if they loved their characters and they loved it, and you're like, okay, we did this as a one shot, but like we can arrange and everybody can come back later and we can take this in place else. I just really like this game for being fun, like middle ground.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like I can totally picture a kobold having like a cooking TikTok and just being like cozy in the corner, you know? Yeah. So,
I think another nice thing because of the nature of the short life of the kobolds, like one of the issues I have with running games at the library is if you're trying to do something that's like a campaign story and you aren't guaranteed to have the same people each time you meet up, it doesn't really matter with this game because kobolds just die. So it's really
yeah.
easy to like pop somebody in and like, oh, there's a new kobold, and it's not wouldn't be as jarring to the story as it would for something like a whole new character being added
Right.
to a group in D&D
Yeah.
or something like
Very
that.
true.
Oh, we do have a question. So, Jay Gordonley, what's the easiest and most difficult about setup and running this specific game? That'd be you, Molly.
Um, hmm. I think the easiest for running this game is okay. This is a silly answer. Because I think the easiest and the most difficult are kind of the same thing. The easiest for me is the difficulty dice because it's easy to just like throw that off, you know? But the most difficult for me is remembering, because my brain is already in like a D&D Pathfinder mode where you have to roll higher than a certain number.
Mhm.
And it can be tricky if you're not used to this kind of a system to switch to getting the lower number. But once you're in that mode, it's okay. But again, the rules book is really straightforward. And I think the thing to remember with this one is kind of something we've already touched on a lot, and Rebecca especially, is that it's okay if you don't know. And it kind of encourages just like screwing around and finding out
Yeah.
as you are. Right. So yeah.
And it even has the house rules that you can toggle on or off.
That's
Like-
true. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think
And there's a special section too after the house rules where it's just a paragraph, and it says, kind of like you can find in a lot of other game systems, but they really emphasize it here, that if you want to change things, change it all. It doesn't matter. This is, again, whose line is it anyway? Like, everything's made up and the points don't matter, right? Just
oh yeah.
do everything you want to do. It's going to be fine. So
I love when games add that element of, yes, we have rules, yes, we'd like you to play them, but at the end of the day, fun is the highest goal. And,
right.
you know, this is a game of chaos and nonsense anyway. Why wouldn't we let you enjoy more nonsense?
Exactly. This is not a rules lawyer kind of game. So
They even have comments on that.
right.
Yeah, and knowing that the new version of this is using the polymorph system,
Mhm.
I think most of you played Venture
Oh,
Society,
yeah.
Yep.
which is also the polymorph system.
Mhm.
So it's still going to be going to like a easy to run, easy to learn.
Yeah, I think it'll be even easier because then we won't be even rolling. We'll just be deciding, I want my brawn to be, you know, the 6-sided die, or I want my ego to be the I don't think they use 4-sided, so 10-sided, etc. So
Mhm.
it's very intuitive, a lot like if you weren't here, folks weren't here for the previous polygon system, your stats correspond with the various dice that you might
Mhm.
have, and it's kind of intuitive, being like, oh, the best thing I'm capable of is a higher level die, the thing that I'm least good at is like a lower level die, but also there's still the ability to um get what you want even if it's like a not optimal setting. So
Mhm.
it's very fun and very intuitive. I like Polygon a lot.
Yeah, and that video is available on our Twitch channel. It's the Venture Society low stress high mayhem session.
Yes, watch us all do shenanigans. This was a little bit more intense shenanigans than usual, and I would we did before the session talk about our various boundaries and things that we wanted in the game, things we didn't want. So for a game that's a little more complex like this, I would definitely urge everybody to have either a session 0 or at least a chance to talk about what they like, what they might not want, because it's very humorous, but everybody's sense of humor is not necessarily everybody else's sense of humor. So
Mhm.
getting on that same page is always a good thing before any session.
Mhm.
Cool. I don't see any questions. Does anybody have any final thoughts?
This
That
was
was
just
great. That
a
was
lot
very
of fun.
Yeah.
I greatly enjoyed it.
Thank you for running it, Molly. That was
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Molly, for running this. And everybody,
Thank
thank you
you.
so
Cook with all
much.
of you.
Yes, thank you for enjoying this session of Low Stress High Mayhem. Thank you all the people who came and watched. Thank you all the people who will come and watch eventually.
Mhm.
This has been the Games and Gaming Roundtable, the American Library Association. We've been playing Low Stress,
I may have
Mayhem.
and we hope to see you next time. Bye all.
George.
Bye.